How we doing today, YouTube? Dski from Dski Grillz back with another cooking video. And today we are making pan-seared ribeyes with a garlic butter sauce. Let's go. Okay folks, so let's talk ingredients for this pan-seared ribeye. What do we got going on? First, we have a half cup of unsalted butter that we're letting sit out and start getting soft. As our binder for our steak, we are going to use grapeseed oil on the steak, okay? So we'll do that in just a second. We're going to be using the seasoned pepper from Lawry's. We're going to be using dry rosemary. We're going to be using sea salt out of the grinder, and we're going to be using cloves of garlic, okay? So the star of the show is this USDA prime steak I picked up a couple of days ago. It's been sitting in the refrigerator. I am so excited about it because what I really wanted to do, folks, is give you guys a awesome secondary method. You know how many times we cook our steaks on the grill, and everyone loves a grilled steak, but I'm telling you, we're going to introduce that all-clad pan and show you how to make beautiful pan-seared steaks right in your kitchen, okay? So here's what we got. We have an absolute beauty. It's right at 1 pound. It's about a ½ inch thick. This baby is full of marbling. We're going to make this thing special, all right? So we'll go ahead and get started right now. I'll show you exactly what we're going to do. Now, one important thing when you're going to pan-sear a steak or make it on the grill is to let your steak come up to room temperature. What that does is it promotes even cooking throughout the steak, okay? Because if it's cold in some spots, warmer in others, it cooks at different temperatures, all right? Now with the all-clad pan, you'll see in a minute, it is a triple bonded pan that disperses heat evenly so you get a beautiful crust all the way through even heat temperatures. All right, so let's come with our binder first. All right, we're going to add that. I'm just going to rub it in. This steak sat on the cutting board for roughly an hour. Okay, I've been doing some other things. I actually called Mama Grillz on my way home from work and asked her to put this thing out for me. Again, you can see the intense marbling, all right? This thing is going to be awesome. Next thing we're going to do is come back with our sea salt, and I want to go heavy with that on this side first. We'll let this thing continue to hang out even a little bit longer to soak these flavors in. And our Lawry's seasoned pepper, okay? And this is another thing I want to go heavy with. Now, these spices are going to make the most beautiful crust, crispy and beautiful on the outside, luscious and soft, delicious on the inside. Okay, so we have our crushed black pepper. We'll do the regular pat, just like that, and flip. Okay, so we're going to repeat the process here. We're coming back with our salt first. That should be good. And our pepper. Now we try not to waste anything on Dski Grillz, so everything that you see that's falling on the side of the cutting board here, we're going to use to make sure our sides are seasoned as well. All right, so let's pat this in. I love this seasoned pepper because not only does it give beautiful color, this pepper is delicious. All right, you get all kinds of different peppers. It makes for a great presentation if you're just using it as like a table pepper, or if you're using it for a steak, okay? So we have both sides already done. Now we're just going to use the cutting board to get our edges seasoned up, okay? Because you want flavor through and through. It's very important. You want to enjoy this. Steak's not cheap. You want to make it good. You want to make it right, all right? So as you can see now, our sides are seasoned as well, okay? Everything looks good. We're gonna let this baby hang out for around 10 minutes, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the butter, okay? Now, the idea is we're gonna go ahead and melt this. I'm gonna just put this in a microwave safe container. I'm gonna melt this cup of butter, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add rosemary to it, okay? So the rosemary will get soft, and that'll be the basis of our butter and rosemary that we're gonna use. And then we're gonna also get our garlic going. So I'll see you guys in just a second when it's time to check out that step. Okay, so we have our garlic. We'll get started with that first. And what I'm thinking is just to use a couple of cloves is all it's going to take for this one, right? The next thing we want to do is make sure we release the flavors of the garlic. So what that means is we don't want to beat it to dust, but we want to hammer it down a little bit, smash it to get those juices coming out of those garlic cloves. Okay. All of that is going to add an awesome flavor to this garlic butter sauce. Okay, so that part of it is done. We'll move our garlic to the side along with our steak. So now that's hanging out as well. So like I said, we have 1/2 cup of butter. So we cut that in half. We're gonna put that in our bowl. Okay, this is unsalted butter. And what we wanna do is add a nice portion of rosemary. Now the fact that I'm not measuring it, I'll just tell you now that it's gonna be about a tablespoon of rosemary. About there. Okay, so we have that. So we'll go into the microwave until this melts. Now it's going to soften up the rosemary, and what it's also going to do is it's going to be an awesome base to build more flavor for our steak, all right? So I'm not going to put this in the microwave yet because we want to start cooking the steak first. This takes no time to melt, and I don't want it to harden back up. So this part will happen in just a minute. Okay, folks, so I'm all kind of excited because today we're using the 12-inch D3 all-clad pan to pan sear this steak, all right? This baby is built like a tank. You can pass this down like a family heirloom, okay? They're not going to warp. They're going to be there for you, okay? They cook evenly because the pan themselves has 3-ply. It's called a D3, all right? So it has stainless steel on top, aluminum in the middle, and stainless steel on the bottom, okay? You have these hard rivets that will never give up on you, okay? So you have control of the pan. You can feel comfortable moving and doing things like this, that it's not gonna fail you, all right? All right, so we're gonna do that. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this turned on. And I want it on high, folks, so I just want you to see that. We're gonna go high temperature here. We wanna get this pan heated up. Now, as far as oils, I mean just a light touch of oil is all I want in the pan. Once it heats up, we'll come back and check out the next step. And with that light oil, what I want to do is kind of move it around the pan, just like that. I just want to have some bit of oil in our pan before we start searing these steaks, okay? So I did less than a tablespoon of oil, and I rubbed it all through the pan to give it a nice oily glaze. All right, folks, so our pan is starting to smoke a little bit. We know we have the temperature we want. We are now at my favorite part of the video, and you know what that is. Let's get cooking. Folks, we're gonna add this baby right here to the D3 pan. And guess what? We're gonna leave it alone. I'll see you in about 3 minutes when it's time to do the first flip. All right, 3 minutes later, let's do this first flip. Look at that. Look, folks, at that beautiful uniform crust, okay? What I'm gonna do right this moment, folks, is go ahead and heat up that butter. So it'll take about 1.5 minutes in the microwave. Now, while our butter is melting, it's time to go ahead and get our garlic added and start getting a nice char on our garlic. You know what I'm really excited to talk about here is what I spoke about at the beginning, just how even the D3 pan cooks, okay? You see the even browning all the way, all right? This also has a lot to do with making sure that steak rests out and gets up to room temperature before you get it started, all right? This looks great, folks. Our butter is almost ready to come too. So what I'll do now is go ahead and get our butter, and we'll come right back, show you what we're gonna do next. This garlic, you know you have to watch that. Garlic cooks quick. We also have a very hot pan, so we're kind of roasting it. You see the beautiful color there? I wanna roast it a little bit, and then we'll get everything incorporated together in just a second. first and foremost, what I don't want to do is I don't want to touch this steak on the other side at all because I want to achieve that same beautiful crust. Then we can get started with adding the butter, incorporating the garlic flavors, and then we'll call this thing done, okay? So we'll get back together in just a second when it's time to add the butter. I'm going to get this moved around. You see we're getting that nice char on our garlic. It should be time now. We should have a nice crust on the other side of our steak. So let's see what we're looking like here. Look, folks, okay? That's what I mean. Even browning all the way through, okay? So that's already done. Here's what we do next. We're going to bring down the eye to about a medium now, okay? Now we're starting to cook more internally to make sure this is the right doneness, all right? We're going to go ahead now and add this beautiful butter that I talked about. You can see that we have pieces of rosemary that's nice and soft. We're going to add that right on top of the steak, just like that. And start moving it around with our garlic. Check it out. So now our garlic is getting infused with that butter. The idea is to keep spooning our butter on our steak. So look how that's looking. It's amazing. It looks amazing. All right. I think this is picture perfect steakhouse stuff, you know, if you ask me. One more minute and we'll meet at the cutting board to check out the final product of this pan-seared ribeye with a garlic butter sauce made on the all-clad D3 pan. I'll meet you guys at the cutting board. All right, so our steak is done, okay? We have our beautiful butter and garlic sauce. We have our rosemary already infused, and here's what we're gonna do next, okay? So we're gonna get this added to the foil, because you know it's all about resting, all right? So we're gonna get this baby wrapped, just nice and tinted. And my plan is to let this rest for at least 5 minutes, maybe 10, and we'll get back together. Folks, so I lost audio. I'm not sure what happened, but what you can see right now is me unwrapping this beautiful, luscious steak, right? So you see the butter and how it caramelized right inside of the steak. You can see the beautiful crust on the garlic. And what I'm doing now is just pretty much taking it out. Now we let it rest for 10 minutes. That was the whole idea behind that. Now we're adding these beautiful, beautiful garlic and rosemary butter on top of this steak. And we're gonna go ahead now and get this baby cut. All right, so we are cutting right in the center of this baby. And I want you to just see just how tender this dang steak is, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm just amazed at how beautiful the pan searing steak method worked using that all-clad pan. You can see the perfect doneness. And all I'm gonna do now is go ahead and cut this baby a little bit more into some strips, and we're gonna take a taste test and close this video out. Folks, I'm just so upset about it, but let's just check this out. We're gonna do this taste test. And I'm telling you, that steak was on point. The butter, the rosemary, the garlic, everything was absolutely delicious. And you can tell right there that that's what I'm explaining to you. But what we're gonna do is close this video out like we always do. And we're gonna say, as always, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our channel. Let everyone know what Dski Grillz is up to. And as always, at Dski Grillz, grilling is not a pastime, it's a passion. You guys enjoy the rest of the day. Awesome, awesome steak recipe done right there on your stove. No need to go out to the grill if you don't want to, okay? I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.